Wow, that's so close.
Well, that was close because that's how your camera's set up. We can't do nothing about that. You what it's gonna
Why
be.
you push it down?
I have no idea. So I'm gonna make it better. Look, we already with technical difficulties. Look at us. Um, hey, how y'all doing though? You're watching Puzzle with the Mad Hatter and the Red Owl. We are grateful to be here tonight to give you guys a little bit of what's going on in the world and our thoughts on those things. We are not sponsored by anybody yet. But if anyone is looking to, sponsor a brother and sister, by all means, hit a brother up and let me know, and we'll see what we can work out. But today we are working on the Josephine Wall puzzle entitled Diana. So just want to show this to you guys really quick. Dirty Diana, the dirty, dirty. This is what we're working on right now. So just beautiful, beautiful puzzle made by Masterpieces Vintage. I can't remember what year it was made in. Here you go. So we got a few stories we want to talk with you all about this week. Hope that Puzzle Nation's been doing well. Real quick, before I forget, just to let everybody know that this is the final weekend to sign up for the Mad Hatter versus Puzzle Battle Championship, our third leg, the Puzzlegenics Grand Prix. The registration will be closing on October the 6th. And so if you haven't registered yet, you still have time to do so, but make sure you do it by Tuesday night, so that way the puzzle has a chance to get to your house on time for the event. Next week's battle begins on Saturday at midnight, and I'm excited to see what our puzzlers are going to do over the course of the next week. And so, again, if you haven't registered yet, go do that now. While you still have an opportunity, just go to the link in my profile, and it'll give you the directions to get to the site to register for that event. All right. Like I said, we're here today. I'm excited about what we're about to get into on tonight. Got a few stories we want to talk to you about. We're going to run until, Instagram kicks us off and then decide how tired we are as to whether or not we're going to keep it going for a little bit longer. But we're, again, excited to be here, and we are simulcast on YouTube as well as Facebook. And so if you're not able to watch it here, you can go over to our other places to watch our videos and to comment on anything that we're doing. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to fill out that comment box below, as Geraldine has already done. She said, like to do this in the future when I understand what it is you're doing with puzzles. And so I'll DM you later on to get a little more clarity on all of that. And that way we can have a discussion as to what it is that you would like to participate in with us. So, all right, we're going to get into it tonight. You ready?
Yes.
Our first story is coming off of CNN.com. On September 28th, so Reuters wrote, a man covered his face with tattoos and turned his eyes black. He says it cost him his kindergarten teaching job. And I'm going to show you who this person is. That person right there. This is the person. What him did.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, looks pretty cool. But it cost him his kindergarten teaching job. School teacher whose body, face, and tongue are covered in tattoos and who has the whites of his eyes surgically turned black, said he was prevented from teaching at a French kindergarten after a parent complained he scared their child. But the teacher, Sylvain Helene, 35, still teaches children from the age of 6 and up, but said that after an initial shock when they see him for the first time, his pupils, pun intended, see past his appearance. All of my students and their parents were always cool with me because they basically knew me, said Helene, who estimated he has spent around 460 hours under the tattooist's needle. It's only when people see me from far away that they can assume the worst. He said last year he was teaching kindergarten at this place I can't pronounce, a suburb of Paris, where the parents of 3-year-old child complained to educational authorities. They said their son, who was not taught by Helene, had nightmares after seeing him. That part right there. A couple of months later, the school authorities informed him that he would no longer teach kindergarten children. He said, I think the decision they took was quite sad, said Helene. Spokesman for the local education authority said an agreement was reached with Helene to move him away from teaching kindergarten. Pupils under 6, quote, could be frightened by his appearance, the spokesman said. And so I wanted to talk about it today because it raises the question, like, at what point can a teacher be an individual and be able to maintain their job, basically. We know that in the 21st century that we have, allowed ourselves to become much more individualistic than we've ever been before. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a great thing that we're able to express who we are, express what we do, express, our hobbies, our dreams, all those things. So it's kind of like, how do you reconcile that while at the same time, keep in mind that this is a learning environment, this is a teaching environment, in that some ways of appearance may come off as off-putting to some people. Love to get your thoughts on that.
I can see it both ways. I feel like the picture that's given, I want to see a different picture. I feel like it's showing the scariness of it. I feel like if I seen him in real life, I wouldn't be afraid of him. I would just be in like shock to see his eyes. But then again, I don't know, because I watched Charmed, and when demons, turn their eyes black. I don't know. But I do think I don't want to say that they were wrong for firing him. I think it was a little unfair because he had been teaching there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had already been teaching there, and nobody had a problem with it until this one person's child was afraid, and it was someone who was under 6, and it wasn't even his student.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I get it. You have to do what's best for the kids. So in that situation, I mean, I get it because the kids come first. I'm a teacher, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know how else they could have done that though.
Right. I think for me, it's a matter of who did they talk to? Who did they talk to? Because I would want to know who the parent was, who made the complaint.
I would have talked with the child. I mean, I would have sat with the child and been like, there's nothing to be afraid of,
would have had him maybe meet the guy. But at the same time, it's like, again, this kid is what, 3?
3. He
was 3. So of course he's gonna be scared. I remember when, our daughter watched something that was a scary part in a cartoon, and it freaked her to freak out. Like, so at 3-4 years old, of course that's gonna happen. I remember when we took Marie to the car wash, when she was like, 1? And the water scared her. Like, so of course a 3-year-old is going to be afraid of a demon looking guy, who looks like this, is walking down the street. Yeah. I mean,
that picture makes him look dark.
I mean, of course it makes him look dark, but I mean, I think that's a picture that he took, like that came off of Facebook, and I don't think he minded because that was a picture that he posted. So, I mean, again, I think they blew it out of proportion. Sure. I'm sure that they talked to him and they explained to him the situation and all that came with that and blah, blah, blah. And he's still teaching. He's just not teaching kids under 6. Yeah. And so it's not like he lost his job as the story kind of alludes to. But it is, again, indicative of the fact that you do have these moments in time where, people are choosing, the bigger, quote unquote, picture rather than siding with the person who really hasn't done anything wrong. Like, it's not like he did anything wrong. It's not like the school didn't know. Like, they hired this man. He was already working. He already had a classroom. He was already doing his thing. So it's not like, he was doing anything wrong. It's just one person complained, and once that person complained, it turned into what it turned into. So I want to know who the complainer was, and how important it was for the people to capitulate to the complainant, so that way the school could keep going. Because it sounds like it was somebody who had to be high up and important enough to say, if you don't make this happen, then things are going blah 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 blah. At least that's how I assume anyway. Right. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to fill out that comment box below. We'll try to get to it as fast as we can. You are watching Puzzled with the Mad Hatter and Red Owl on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Oh, we got all the way. Right. Our next story is coming out of let's see, where is this? In Ohio. Good News Network reports that a teen McDonald's employee pays for family's meal when mom forgets her wallet. Then she raises $32,000 for him. Stressed out mom rolled up to a McDonald's drive-thru to purchase a meal for her children. She realized with dismay on making her order that she left her purse at home, but the teenage server at the window didn't send her away. He happily paid for the meal. This woman was more than grateful. It been a long day at soccer practice with her 4 and 7-year-old. Later that night, person tow, the woman drove back to the McDonald's to give the guy Wyatt his money back, but the Waynesville, Ohio local insisted the meal was on him. She wrote in a Facebook post, "I just want his parents to know how kind and compassionate your son was tonight. He made this stressed out mama pause for a moment and realize this is exactly what we parents are trying to do, raise great humans. Wyatt, do not let this world change your kind heart, young man, for it's people like you that will change this world for the better." Wyatt had shown the woman such kindness. How to thank him even more? On hearing that he was saving up to buy a car, she began a GoFundMe campaign on his behalf. And as of October 1, she's raised nearly $32,000 for him.
Nice. Cool.
Listen. I hope that he takes half the money and gets him a decent car, and then takes that other funds and go do something a little more constructive with it. But boy, go live your life, bruh. Go live your life. That's awesome, man. Listen. And it just goes to show that, kindness, it does get rewarded. Now, we're not saying go out and go do something nice for somebody and hope that they go start you a GoFundMe page or anything. But it's just, again, what my wife and I are saying all the time, there's so much good that's happening in the world that if we take the time to just take that step back and look and see, then, we find moments like this where, he wasn't trying to do it for fame, accolades, or anything. He just saw a woman that was in need, and, what's a happy meal? What's a few happy meals in a quarter pounder with cheese? Like,
anyway.
Listen, hey, he probably had to hook up. So that's what's up. No, it reminds me of a time where I did that similar thing.
You do the whole pay me when you're in line and someone pays for you.
No. Well, that happened to me, and I followed in suit. I followed in kind with that. And that was cool in and of itself. Like, the first time it happened, I was like, wait, what?
Wait, when you do that, were you afraid that the meal was going to cost like $30?
No, not at all. I was just like, just tell me what it is. Like, I want to keep this going, whatever it costs. And so I was good that day. Now on other days where, money's kind of tight, like, please don't let it be, please. But, right, exactly. But no, I had an instance where when I was working, at a chicken joint, had a guy come up to me. Well, a guy drove up, and the same thing happened to him. He got up to the line and realized, yeah, that fits right there. Realized that he didn't have his wallet, and so I went and got the manager and said, "Hey, this guy doesn't have his wallet. He asking, can we just give him his food?" And the manager said, "Yeah, no problem." And so we gave him his food, and he gave me his card and said, "If you're ever looking for a job, look me up." And just so happened that one summer after.
Take employees away.
Listen, and it worked because I sure enough got a job that following summer. After I finished my first listen, if you got it, use it, man. But again, it just goes to show, again, kindness, man. It goes such a long way. In the world that we live in, we see a whole bunch of negativity over and over and over again. But it's nice to know that every so often there are some good things that are happening in the world, and that there are people who are just kind for the sake of being kind. Like there's no, there's no motive behind it. There's no selfish or, ulterior motive behind what they're doing. They're just doing things out of the kindness of their hearts. And so it's great to see that not only did, he do something for her, but then she turned right around and did something for him. And so, hats off to them for, again, just being the shining example that we are good people in this world, that, this world is not, just bad all the time. And if we just know where to look and know how to look, we can not only see the good, but be the good. Goodness should inspire goodness. And so hats off to this guy. I forgot what his name is already. Wyatt. I think he's 17. He said it was 17 years old. Yeah. And so hats off to him.
College.
Yeah. Well, I would hope so. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, So again, hats off to him, and hats off to Miss Brittany for doing that for him as well. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to fill out that box below, and we'll try to get to them as fast as we can. Again, you're watching Puzzled with the Mad Hatter and Red Owl here on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Our next story comes out of Texas. This is another teacher incident that went down, but this is for a different reason. The Texas teacher loses job for wearing Black Lives Matter mask. The Texas art teacher says she was fired for wearing a Black Lives Matter mask, but school administrator said she effectively resigned by refusing to follow dress code policy. Lillian White, a teacher at Great Hearts Western Hills, said she started wearing her handmade mask with the slogan Black Lives Matter to in-person teacher training days once the school reopened in July during the coronavirus pandemic. And this is the mask that she was wearing right there. I've been wearing these masks since the pandemic started. I started making them and just hadn't even thought about it. I wore them to work for about a week and a half before anyone ever said anything. There's that part right there. A week and a half. But okay, a week and a half. White said she got a text message on July 31st from assistant headmaster, well, whatever title that means, instructing her to wear a different mask because parents would soon arrive on campus. White should refrain from wearing her Black Lives Matter mask because the school chooses not to discuss the current political climate. White said that after she got the message, which she shared with NBC News, she knew it would be an uphill battle with her employer. The headmaster has not responded to multiple requests for comment. My heart rate rose immediately, she said. This isn't going to be a brush it under the rug kind of thing. The school asked her to change her mask and subsequently sent her home on 4 separate occasions. White said she was terminated from the school on September 5th. The superintendent of Great Hearts rebutted the claim, saying that White was not terminated, but that she quit by refusing to adhere to the school's regulation. The administration of the school... No. The administration of the school worked with Ms. White for weeks, reminding her of the dress code and providing remote work assignments. When at last she wrote to the administration that she would not comply with the dress code, the school was advised by counsel that she had effectively resigned her position by stating that intention, and the school so informed her. She said, I didn't once say I quit. I didn't say, here's my letter of resignation. I was perfectly willing to continue showing up on campus. But White said she never once considered agreeing to the school's request. I was so stressed out thinking about even the possibility of backing down. It just made me so sick to my stomach. It doesn't seem like an issue that anyone should have to compromise on. And if I'm compromising, then what am I actually getting done? This is another picture of one of the masks that she was wearing at the school. And Josh, we thank you, brother. Stay as long as you can, man. Stay as long as you can. But we sure do appreciate you for coming on tonight. White said her mask was part of a larger effort to promote equality and to endorse her plan to diversify the school's curriculum. None of it has anything to do with anything that's not racial discrimination. That's one of the main things that I want to change, is to have some representation in what these kids are reading, some representation of joy in what these kids are reading. Great Hearts was founded, this is the superintendent, and exists today to serve the innate dignity and worth of every human being. We stand with the Black community and all who are suffering. Great Hearts deplores bigotry and its crushing effects on all those subjected to it. Great Hearts is committed to an America where racism, violence, and injustice do not happen, because such acts do not find no home in the hearts of great people. She wrote a petition about staff-wide anti-racism training. That petition. So what her final thing is that while I regret not being able to stay with my students, I do not regret standing up for this decision. They should see that there are going to be consequences to the decisions you make. But regardless of how strenuous it can be on you, it's worth it if you know it's right. Mm-hmm. What you got? Let's you go first.
So I guess I see both sides again. I personally think they're wrong for firing her. She did not quit. In my opinion, she did not quit. When you quit, you say, I quit. I mean, she was there for a week. I like to know, was the dress code already set in place before they started work? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, students weren't there, parents weren't there, and I kind of personally believe that she probably wouldn't have. I was about to say, I think she would have, kind of changed her dress code a little bit when kids would come back, but I don't think she would. Mm-hmm. Not after seeing what she said.
Seeing what she said.
And I mean, I don't blame her. Forget the fact that she's white. It doesn't matter.
That's actually a great thing. Given,
it is, because that's one thing. Like, we need to teach our kids, like,
is it black or white?
It doesn't matter. Right is right. Wrong is wrong.
Boom.
I don't even know. I wonder if they had a sit down as to why you're doing this and why I can't do this. Like, I don't get what's wrong with that. And I probably would have took it to the press too. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, okay, so why not promote that? Why do you think they don't want to promote that? Because I don't know why.
I mean, here's the thing. Because before 2020, I could understand why people wouldn't want to promote it.
Why?
Because it was one of those issues that, it automatically incited like a level of rage, against the machine. We saw what happened with Colin Kaepernick when he tried to stand up for Black rights. He was ostracized, criticized, ridiculed, effectively lost his job in the NFL, blackballed, the whole 9 yards. But I mean,
like everybody wasn't backing.
Right now, post 2020. And everything that's happened, and now that everybody sees how bad it is and understands what it represents and blah, 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 now I'm at the place where you are, where it's like, why would you not?
Why not show the kids the right thing? Why try to, I always say this, I want to protect my girls as long as I possibly can, but I know I can't protect them forever.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, sometimes we introduce some things like very healthy. But it's like a hit and okay, move on.
Right. I mean, we make the choice to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So why not? I'm not sure what grades. It just said K through 12.
K-12. It's a charter school.
Oh, okay. So why not? I mean, do they do Black History Month?
Right.
So why does Black History Month?
Well, that's a whole nother conversation for another
exactly.
day. Therefore,
so why not let her wear it? I mean, it wasn't like she was saying anything about it.
Nope.
You don't need to say anything about it. It shows.
Right. And it's already in existence.
You're showing Black kids. You're showing white kids. What did it say again?
I don't know. Black Lives Matter, and then the other one was justice delayed is justice
especially
denied.
Something like that.
No justice, no peace.
Why not show that people have rights? Like that, you mentioned what happened to freedom of speech.
Right. So I'm gonna talk about it on two different fronts. I'm gonna answer your question and then I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it. One, my job has a policy similar to that where you can't wear anything political at all.
Reason.
No, well, I know that. Obviously, I mean, we know all the ulterior motives and all that kind of stuff. But even before this, there was a no politics policy. Like you can't wear T-shirts that have anything like that on there. You can't wear, jeans that have anything. Not just Black Lives Matter. You can't wear Democrat. You can't wear Republican. You can't wear right. And so
it depends on the job.
It depends on the job. It depends on where you're at. And so like you said, if the policy was already in place prior to her making this decision, then she made the definitive choice to stand up for what she believed in, despite the ramifications that were inevitable by virtue of where she worked. And so, yes, I understand freedom of speech, freedom of press, and all that kind of stuff. But if their policy strictly states, and you already go into this job knowing that the policy exists, it's not like she went in and said, "Oh, I didn't know that."
So then my question is, can you take that to court?
That's the thing. I don't think you can, because if it's already in policy,
I feel like if McDonald's can get sued for Biggie fries,
I mean, listen, you can sue, but you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win because it's ironclad. It's already in policy. If it's already there, now listen. If it was like written up in like after she brought in the mask, like let's come up with some cockamamie idea to keep her to not put the mask on, that's a whole nother conversation. And she's going to win that battle all day long, because you can't come in and ad hocly create something just to keep somebody from wearing something that they want to wear. That's where you start violating people's rights and stuff. But if this was already something that was in place, not just for Black Lives Matter, but for Republican, Democrat, Colin Kaepernick stuff, whatever the case is, keep politics out of the picture to whatever degree, unless it's an academic scholarly endeavor or whatever, then she has no leg to stand on. And so as much as I am with her on standing up for what she believes in, at the same time, it's foolish in that you were going to lose that battle from day one.
I want to know, because see, part of me still kind of believes she probably would have switched it up once school started, because she was there for a whole week and nobody said anything.
See, and that which brings that brings me to my second point. Go ahead.
And I don't know when school starts back for them, but they said they wanted her to switch masks because parents were going to start coming. I still kind of believe that she probably would have switched up. Maybe I might be wrong. Once school started, I don't think there was really a policy for it just being teachers there and no students. So when they asked her to stop wearing the mask, and she refused to stop wearing the mask, like, I wonder if it was stop wearing it still while nobody's there, or stop wearing it.
Which leads me to my second point. I would want to know who complained, because once again, it's not like her accusers came to her and talked to her about the mask. No one was upset about the mask until somebody complained to somebody. And once that complaint was in, all of a sudden now it's a problem. And I think that's the part that always gets me. We are we are such cowards in the 21st century, where we don't have the courage to go talk to the person who is offending us and tell them, you're offending me by doing this. We no longer have the ability to have the conversations with people, the tough, heavy, hard conversations with people that allow us to be able to then, try to have some dialogue, with someone about the things that are going on. Like, it makes no sense to me that a person has to lose her whole job over a mask, when the person who was frustrated about the mask, all he had to do was go to the person and say, hey, let's talk about why you got this mask on your face, because it's bothering me. And then she could have had the whole conversation, and maybe something bigger could have come out of it than just, her having to lose her job or having to go to an administrator. Instead, it was one person who called an attitude, and rather than talk to, it reminds me of like movies like Sister Act and stuff like that, where instead of me coming to you and telling you how what you're doing is bothering me and coming to a resolution together, no. Close though. How it allows us to then come together and reconcile with one another. Instead, I'm going to work all these workarounds around you to get you moved, so that way things can go back to the way I want them to go. And so for me, that's the bigger issue. For me, it's like, you know what? Go there. Anyway, that's where it is for me. Like, how come you person couldn't come to me and talk to me about what was going on and how it was offending you? Why'd you have to take it to an administrator rather than being a man or a woman about what you're feeling and just talk to me? Because if you could have just talked to me about it instead of, running your mouth to somebody and, probably saying things that weren't true about me, to somebody. Now I got to have all these meetings. Now we got to go through this whole litigation, over a mask. And at the end of the day, if you just would have talked to me, just would have had a conversation about it, we probably could have quashed this in 30 minutes over some wings. And so for me, that's the issue. Like, it's not about the fact that, you had all these things going on. Because once again, it's not like it's not like the administration cared. They didn't care until somebody raised the issue. But they raised the issue in a way that made them look at policy and say, well, based on policy, we can't let you do this. And the teacher probably didn't even want to bring it up. It's like, you know what? I don't even know why they're making an issue out of this, but because of the policy, because of what we have written in here, we can't let you do what you're doing. And so she had to take a stand, or she felt like she had to take a stand. And again, she was well in her right to do so. Again, the policy being the policy, if it was in place prior to her, then, she just made a definitive choice, and that's the end of that. Hopefully she'll be able to find another job, and preferably one that'll let her do what she's doing without, any ramifications in the long run.
So I wonder, do they not teach like politics, government, all that?
They probably do, but it's probably not done in a way where you get to wear shirts. Like, you can't express yourself. And that sucks, because again, this is the 21st century. We ought to be able to express ourselves the way we want to. But and that brings up a third point. I'm sorry, we're kind of running over, but that brings an actual third point. It is possible, and I could be wrong, because again, I really think it was just the person that was complaining, but whatever. But it's quite possible that they were looking at it as a snowball. Huh? If I allow this person to wear Black Lives Matter stuff, then I have to allow other people to wear their stuff. Now, again, it's like comparing apples to oranges. So in no way am I saying that this situation with the Black Lives Matter, with the Black Lives Matter shirt, nope, that don't go down. It's gonna fit right in here. Yes, like with the Black Lives, if I wear Black Lives Matter, then that means that every other person who has a political stance will then be able to wear whatever they want to wear. And in the heated political climate that we live in today, that might not be the best idea, because people then gonna end up showing up with the dumbest things to have written on shirts and written on jerseys and written on their faces and all that other kind of stuff. And so it's basically going to be opening up a powder keg that may lead to more harm than good, not necessarily for the kids, but for the adults. So it is possible that they were looking at it from that angle too, that we need to take this off because we don't want nobody coming in here with a, whatever I'm saying anyway, with a KKK shirt saying, well, she get to wear her Black Lives Matter shirt, so why can't I wear my KKK shirt? Or, she wears her Black Lives Matter shirt, why can't I wear my let's legalize marijuana shirt?
The thing, though, was that talked about? Or was it just, you need to take this off? Why? Because
I said so. Right. And again, we don't know. Unless she decides to disclose that information to us, we won't know. But again, That again, that's the only other explanation I can think of that would make sense of the situation that she's in. That, you know, they were looking at it from the angle of, we don't want to start a war where people are now, you know, saying, well, she gets to wear what she's wearing, I want to wear what I'm wearing. If you have any questions or comments, fill out that comment box below. We'll try to get to them as fast as we can. You're watching the Mad Hatter. No, you're not. You're watching Puzzled with the Mad Hatter and Red Owl here on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. The next story is coming out of Yahoo News. A bus worker was fired after sending creepy text messages to a woman using test and trace details. And they wanted to make sure that we saw how pretty she is and how cute she is, so everybody can see how creepy this is. I hate it when they do stuff like this, but whatever. Like, I don't need to see what she looked like. Just tell me the story. Anyway, Kat Kingsley gave her name and phone number to the original tour in Windsor on 10 September in case she needed to be contacted if there was a coronavirus outbreak. But she was shocked when a member of the staff on the bus allegedly used her number to message her twice asking to see her again. These are the messages that he sent. Basically, the other day after you left, I felt silly. Keep looking around to see if I could spot you again. Yesterday, they sent me to blank. I guess that's our house. And I felt even more silly, realizing I was still hoping to see you. Along with the idea of this stupid message, you've been living in my... Oh, where'd it go? Oh, you've been living in... Darn it! You've been living in my... You've been living in my mind rent-free. Oh, you've been living in my mind and the rent is cheap and there's plenty of free room. That's the part I wanted to read. Oh, I got to do it again. Along with the idea of this stupid message, you've been living in my mind rent-free. And there's, and dog it, I messed it up. It don't matter. Rent is cheap and there's plenty of free room for 3 days now. Sweet, whatever. Joking. So today I decided to stop being silly and go full stupid and write you, knowing all the risk involved in using data that's not supposed to be for me. Don't get me wrong. Mainly, I'm just so zealous and the professional to test in advance a totally random phone number to see if it is correct in case the NHS will need it in the future. Reacting to the news, Ms. Kingsley told the BBC he didn't resign. He went through the disciplinary process, and I think it is expected to keep his job, but I got a call yesterday to say he had been fired. I think it should teach him a lesson and hopefully deter anyone else who was considering breaching data protection. In the messages that were sent 3 days after the trip, the man said he had been living in his head and admitted knowing all the risk. Message read, anyway, apart from all the due apologies you owe me for all this silliness and stupidity you generated in me, I need you to tell me something to make me finally realize that smile wasn't that gorgeous and it's not really you. But the fact that I like all the cats in general, because her name's Kat. Ms. Kingsley, right. No, well, they're in England. Ms. Kingsley had added the government really needed to reassess the track and trace system as a result of her experience. The Department of Health and Social Care spokesperson said the unauthorized use of customers' information provided for contact tracing is unacceptable. What them said. Go ahead.
I don't remember that last message. That was kind of creepy.
Go ahead.
That was okay. Hey, he had guts.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen.
But you say I've been living in my head. I have to think about that.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what he was expecting.
Yeah, man. Listen.
He had guts.
Listen. So if you gonna do something like this, don't do it like this. That's how I'm saying. That's how I'm saying. So okay, so
he know no other way to get in touch with him.
Well, listen. If this is what you gonna do, don't do it like that. This is how you do it. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do the creeper thing, this is how you go about doing it. You don't let the lady know that you got her number from the track and trace coronavirus database.
But she gonna ask, what you gonna say?
No, don't contact her like that at all, man. If you're that big of a creeper, I am not by any means necessary at
her
all.
He felt that it was
it
fake
was
that he had her number.
Right. So if you got it, then you do something like a hey who this, or send a fake text or something, and then when she be like wrong number, be like, oh my bad, LOL, la la la, whatever. And if she responds in a way that lets you into a door, then go all in. But don't do it.
It's okay, LOL. How is that?
No. I didn't say that was the door. I'm just saying, but if she responds in a way that's like, haha, whatever.
She said LOL. You would say LOL.
So then you follow up. I don't know what follow, because me, I'd be like, I'm not a creeper. I'm not about to do this. This is dumb.
I don't see how you can follow
I don't either, but you don't do this. You don't say you've been in my mind for 3 days, and
I feel like
and rent is cheap, and rent is cheap, and it's so beautiful and glorious, and oh my God, I can't believe that you've been rolling in my mind. But, you don't do that.
I thought it was funny too. What's your name?
I mean, no, don't say that. See, that's dumb.
What else?
I don't know. That's why I said I don't know, but you don't do that. Okay? You don't do, you've been in my mind for 3 days and I got your number off the track and trace for coronavirus. Like, that is the dumbest thing you could do. Okay?
To make it
I didn't say that there was, but that ain't it. That's certainly not it. You don't go in.
I done had that happen before.
Really? I'm not endorsing by any stretch of the imagination. I don't want nobody coming in here saying he's endorsing being a creeper. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you gonna do it, don't do that. Don't be her. Don't send this long behind text message of you've been in my mind for 9 days and it's cheap. And how dare you, make me feel so good about myself and all this other stuff. No, listen, he the one that messed it up, okay? Nobody told him to go that far. He should have found a different way. He should have talked to his boys and be like, look, apparently not. Because they would have told him, bro, this is dumb. You're going to get fired, all that jazz. Or they would have came up with a different plan the way he could keep his job and, maybe have a girlfriend on the side. I don't know. All I'm saying is he went about it the wrong way, and that's his dumb fault for doing it the way he did it. Yeah. And shame on him. And he messed himself up for that. Now he ain't got no job, and you best believe they're gonna blackball him.
Then I think about, okay, if this happened to my daughter.
Oh, see, why you had to play the daughter card, man? I know. No.
Want that boo?
No.
People don't be doing that.
I know. I'm aware. No, and that's what she did the right thing by reporting it. No doubt about it. I mean, no, she did what she was supposed to do.
He in his head. He probably could have got in his head.
I'm aware of what he could have done.
People crazy.
All I'm saying is, if that's the route he decided to take, sir, you went about it the wrong way. You ain't got no job. Which makes it worse for you now, because no woman want a man with no job. So next time, make sure you got a job. You do what your job tell you to do. And if you're going to do something this dumb, make sure you got a plan. That was not a plan. That was dumb.
He took a risk.
That was a dumb risk. He didn't calculate it right.
He took a risk.
He didn't calculate it right.
You took a risk. You said during basketball, you took a risk, didn't calculate it right. But you took a risk, right?
That's not.
If you didn't take a risk, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, not to do it next time. Damn right. Don't do that no more. That don't work.
So now hopefully he did learn a lesson.
Hopefully he can go get him a job next week, because he need to work, man. People need jobs, man.
We don't know if there is anything mentally wrong with this.
This probably is something. Clearly, there's something mentally wrong with him. You've been in my mind for 3 days. Clearly, there's something mentally wrong with this dude.
Mentally.
That's right. Mentally. I said it right. Mentally wrong with him.
We don't know.
Don't be texting nobody talking about you been in my mind for 3 days and rent is cheap and there's free board or whatever the case is. Don't be doing that. No, you come at it in a listen. It's just like on Think Like a Man. You got to go with a plan, man. You got to go in there with a plan, and you got to see. Listen. just not that way. No, don't do it like that. Y'all got any questions, comments? Feel free to fill that comment box below while I sit here and try to figure out a different way for this dude to approach dating somebody, because that wasn't it. No, you do not send a text message off of a track and trace phone and think that that's gonna get you a date, bro. Not like that. You've been running in my mind. No, bro, no, that's not how that works. You got to figure out a different way to go about that process. And so if y'all got any questions or comments about it, fill that box below and I'll try to figure out where my brain's at with it, because my mind all still messed up about all that. Right. This next story is coming out of Texas. Texas is on it this week. So this woman is ordered to pay $3.8 million for selling stolen goods on eBay for 19 years. Texas woman will serve prison time and has to pay $3.8 million in damages that she ain't got for selling shoplifted merchandise on eBay for 19 years. Her name is Kim Richardson, 63-year-old Dallas resident. She participated in a multi-million-dollar interstate theft ring that spanned from August of 2000 through August of 2019. She went a whole 19 straight years. In that time, federal investigators said she traveled around the U.S. and shoplifted merchandise that she later sold directly to customers on eBay. She used shoplifting tools to disable security devices. She went in. Wait a minute. She used shoplifting tools to disable the security devices and would exit the store by placing the stolen merchandise in a large black bag she carried. Richardson assisted in the sale of items on the internet as well as packaging and mailing stolen items. $3.8 million was sent in total to 4 PayPal accounts linked to Richardson from buyers throughout 19 years. The Secret Service and FBI investigated the case and assisted U.S. Attorney Belinda Beek of the Southern District of Texas prosecuted the case. Richardson pled guilty in December. She's ordered to serve 54 months in Fed prison, and her sentence will be followed by 3 years of supervised release. So,
how she get out?
First of all, that's the first question I had. Like, at this point, your plan ought to be bulletproof. You've been doing this for 19 years.
I mean, she probably got complacent.
She probably did get complacent. They probably set up a sting. They probably had somebody set up as a buyer. And they probably set themselves up as a buyer, and they finally caught her when she sold something to them. That was probably what they needed. So she probably.
How would they know that it was stolen?
Because they probably followed her. They probably followed her. They probably had the whole thing set up to where they followed from the initial point of contact in terms of where she went to go get the stuff to when she sold it. I mean, they probably set that thing up real good. So I mean, she pretty much said it wasn't a matter of complacency, but she just didn't know who she was selling to. At the end of the day, though, that's some real Ocean's 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13 type stuff, bro. Like all the shoplifting stuff that we watch and stuff on TV, that's that next level type stuff. I want nothing to do with that whatsoever, so I don't want anybody in here saying, oh yeah, he want to steal. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is I love movies like that. And that's some crazy stuff that is actually right. That is actually happening in real life. Like 54 months in prison. And $3.8 million is what got me. I don't care about the prison time because, we knew that was coming by default. But she got to pay back that money that she don't spend. That money, she ain't got that money.
It's been that long, though.
She ain't got that money.
I didn't know it's been that long.
They probably tracked it back from her first sale. They probably tracked her from her first sale all the way to this present time. Listen. I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to say I'm sorry. You got caught. So, your reign of terror on eBay is over. So you shall. Well, you know how it is. You cut off one head, 2 more grow in its place. Sorry. So, sorry for her. But now the vultures are coming out to try to take her place. So y'all just be mindful. What you buying, who you buying from.
Why Amazon. I don't like to buy if it's not buying from Amazon.
No, I know. Trust me, I know. Like, I've had experiences where I end up like, well, you
So I wonder if they've tried to contact the people who she's sold to.
That's probably how they found out about it. That's probably how they first found out about it. So, at any rate, that was very weird to me. Like I said,
That's crazy.
It's
almost like the dude who escaped from jail.
It is like the dude who escaped from jail. Yeah. Whatever his name was. L something. No, it wasn't no L nothing. It was Kai Sai something. At any rate, if you have any questions or comments, fill out the comment box below. We'll try to get to them as fast as we can. You're watching the Mad Hatter. No, you're not. You're watching Puzzled with the Mad Hatter. I'm going to get the show name right eventually. You're watching Puzzled with the Mad Hatter and the Red Owl here on Instagram as we are putting this little puzzle together right here on this board. I'm making a lot of good progress with it. So there's another story that came out real quick. Kroger gave a job to a homeless woman who slept in their parking lot. Not that long ago, Lashinda Williams was living in her car and wondering where her next meal was coming from. She never had a stable home in her life. Piece? Yes, one piece. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, right. Just like this one. Okay. Wherever it. I see it. Yeah. I call them the masterpieces because that's who made the puzzle. That's crazy. By day, she became a store regular, striking up conversations and making friends. Even when she couldn't afford to buy food at night, she'd move her car to a new location, hoping that staff wouldn't realize she was living in the lot. When associate store manager Jackie Vandal heard Williams mention her goal of working in the store one day, she told her about an upcoming job fair. Impressed by Williams's can-do, upbeat people skills, Vandal made sure that she made the cut from candidate to new hire, helping Williams with her application, even tweaking her resume. It only took Williams a month to get her first promotion. Soon after, she was able to afford a new place to live. As it turned out, it was the very first apartment she'd ever had with her name on the lease. She's always trying to help someone, always trying to be a light in the world that seems very dark. The post to East Nashville Facebook group got more than 200 responses. Furniture, small appliances, and just about anything you need to furnish a home started pouring in to her house. You don't know how good this feels. I've been through a lot. Thank you. This means the world to me. When I was hungry, they fed me. When I needed a pair of gloves, they gave them to me. These workers that I work with, they are my family. The feeling is more than mutual, with manager Jackie saying, I wish I had 120 of her. With her indomitable spirit, welcoming attitude, and warm and sunshiny energy. Happily for Williams, sometimes what goes around really does come around, and nowhere has it been more well-deserved. Again, as we're always saying, we're just grateful that there are some good things that are happening in the world, and that, with all the darkness that is going on in the world, it's good that there's a lot of bright light that is happening all around us if we just take the time to pay attention to it. And that kind of goes into what I want to talk about right now. And I'm gonna just, try to spend just a few minutes on it, especially because we're about to run out of time on Instagram. On Instagram, we'll start it up again if we need to. And feel free to chime in whenever you want. We've all, watched and seen the incidents that have taken place over the past couple of days with Donald Trump and basically his entire dirt staff catching coronavirus. And it basically kind of just bringing another dark stain to the presidency, to the administration, and, just casting everything that he has, been saying about defeating coronavirus and, getting us back to normal, just casting it in an incredibly dark light. I have been a strong advocate for public health and for public safety and for, wearing masks and making sure that you're taking care of yourselves, taking care of your families. I say on here just about every week, make sure that you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourselves, that you make sure that you make it through the next 60 years. Coronavirus is serious. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody thinks. My personal experience with coronavirus scares and the fact that half my team was ravaged at my job by coronavirus, and we may be seeing another wave of it coming soon. This is nothing to play with. And it breaks my heart that, the administration of our nation has played around with coronavirus for so long that now the entire, national, top level government system is on the verge of, all sorts of stuff because coronavirus does not play. Coronavirus is not discriminatory. Coronavirus does not care who you are, what you are, how much money you have, what you own, what your position is in life, whatever. It's coming. And if it decides to get you, it's going to get you. And so I tell everybody all the time, this isn't a politics thing, man. It's a public health thing. And we as Americans, we need to stop trying to turn coronavirus and mask wearing and social distancing into a Republican versus Democrat thing. It's not about that. It's not a black-white thing. It's not a Democrat-Republican thing. It's a health thing, y'all. Like, it still amazes me and baffles my mind to this day that even after everything that went down on just this week alone, I still will go to the store and still see people masks off, not caring, how close they are to people, having conversation with people in their faces. Never mind the fact that the numbers keep rising. These are the same ones who will go to the hospital the few days later complaining about, I'm sick and my, they won't see me, or they're taking too long to see me, or whatever the case is. Like this stuff is playing for keeps, y'all. Again, I am saddened and I'm disappointed as always with, our, government and how lackadaisical they've been as a whole. I know some states have taken things a lot more seriously than others, and my hat's off to the ones who have. But again, it's heartbreaking to see that this is where we're at now, where now our top level of government, not top levels, the top level of government is threatened now by this virus. And again, it's just it's a hallmark to, and just highlights the fact that our government just hadn't taken it seriously. It hasn't taken it seriously, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
You said it.
Yeah.
I just want to know now if anything's going to change as far as what to do about it, because I think about this. If you're going to do it for one, do it for all.
Preach.
If you're going to be a leader and make this mandatory, and people complain or whatever, it doesn't matter, then every other thing that you decide, I mean, everybody's not going to be happy about this.
Come on now.
You have some people who don't like it because of whatever reasons.
Yep.
You have people who want it because of whatever reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And so my thing is, as a leader, you have to make those hard decisions. Some people are going to like it and some people are not going to like it. That goes for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, take health off the table.
Come on.
Things like
Right.
things that happened earlier,
Mm-hmm.
Decisions that were made. A lot of people didn't like it, but who's the leader?
Right. Right.
So, I mean,
Right.
if you're going to mandate it, people will get mad or whatever. But if you're not, then that doesn't mean that you as a person still can't protect yourself.
Exactly. Because I think the thing that, that gets me, and the thing that gets me is that, if you're going to make it about personal choice, then live with the consequences.
Exactly.
Don't get mad when those choices cost you.
You
made your own choice. Now it's costing you. Don't then get upset with the system that you allowed to be in place to do what it did.
Exactly.
Because this is not a failure.
Wishy-washy.
Right. People are fickle. We know, and so don't get upset with the system that you put in place or didn't put in place. Because basically the system is working like it's designed to. This is what it was designed to do. You have the choice of whether you want to wear a mask or not wear a mask. If you don't wear right in some cases, if you go ahead. No, go ahead.
Even then, the stores that mandated, what can you do if you don't wear a mask inside? Right,
because it's not like people going. And even then, like, people go into the store with the mask and then take the mask off. And it's not like anybody in the store gonna be like, put the mask back on, because they've seen stories of people who tried that and they end up getting beat up. So no, they're not gonna risk their job or anything like that to try to get somebody to put a mask back on. So it's a matter of, if this is what you're gonna do, and if you're, as a leader, going to lead by example, showing people that I'm not gonna wear my mask, so you don't have to wear your mask, then you live with the consequences that come.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Oh.
If I can get to it. We'll have to end on its own. So Instagram is getting ready to kick us off. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds. We got to give it a chance to actually kick us off officially. But we are still live on YouTube and Facebook. So we'll be right back. You're almost there. We almost did it. We almost did it. It's all over.
That was a nice story.
Mm-hmm. So again, yeah, like, you just live with whatever decision you're gonna make. Just live with it. I think that's the thing that, you know, I wanted to really highlight more than anything else. Like, I've let other people talk about, you know, how dumb and all that other kind of stuff is with him. But my whole thing is, you have to live with the consequences of the decisions that you make as a leader and as a person. Because I'm here again to tell you, just because your leader says you ain't got to wear your mask, you ain't got to follow him. You don't have to follow him. You don't want to wear the mask, don't wear it. If you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. But what bothers me, and my mom, I talked to her earlier this week, and she was saying that my sister said, you know, what bothers her the most is you have people who come into the hospital who are sick as all get out, and they're being mean and being nasty, talking about, I need to be serviced. And it's dealing with coronavirus or whatever. And they're like, did you wear your mask? Well, no, but so it's like, why are you now trying to put pressure on the health department, the health system, to serve you when you didn't do your part to repent?
You're going to wait, boo.
Right. We're going to get to you, and whenever we get a chance to get to you. It's not that people are being, disheartened or whatever, but I know a lot of nurses are like, man, I'm tired. Exactly. I'm tired. And they're putting
their... think about that.
No.
What we do affects others.
Yes.
It's not about us.
No.
First of all. But then if you're not saved, it's not just about you.
Right.
What you do affects your kids. What you do affects your mom. What you do affects your family. What you do affects people that you don't even know.
You don't even know. Yes. Because it's just like with my job, and I love my job. But I know what I'm saying is, like, to want to go back to normal, like, bruh, you don't see the numbers, you don't see the things that are going on, right? Like, and yet you're so quick to want to go back to normal and have things the way that they used to be. We are not in the state of normal no more. Like, normal is gone. Like, there is no normal no more. This is the new normal.
This is the new normal.
And we have to stick with this thing until things stop or whatever. But if we keep trying to go back and forth, want to get back to normal as fast as possible, no, there is no getting back to normal with this. And that's what bothers me is, like, people act as if, like, we're going to get back to normal tomorrow. We're not. It's not going to be that easy. It's like I told some people about the church, like, we don't know when we're going back to church. Not the way things are going. Every time we think about the possibility of even trying to go back, 15,000 more cases. And so, no, there is no getting back to normal. And so, again, it's like, if you're not going to do your part, to try to help stem the tide, then frustrated with a system that cannot help you the way you want to be helped when you need it. Because at the end of the day, it's not the system's fault. You allowed the system to be the way that it is. You set it up this way. And now, again, I hope and pray that Donald Trump comes out of this. But again, we just like we hope with everybody else. But what this situation shows us, even in that, is how the haves have the ability to get out of these situations a whole lot faster and a whole lot more readily than those who have not. Because if you have money, if you have power, if you have position, then you can get access to things that people who don't have all of that stuff can't get to. And so again, I pray that he gets it. But this again is just another hallmark of the fact that it's not until it affects you that all of a sudden now you want to get everything that you need in order to become better. And unfortunately, the ones who were trying to prevent this from happening kept getting derailed by people who wanted to have it their way. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And that's why I keep saying, and I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, go vote. I don't care who you vote for,
go vote.
But go vote. Because if you don't vote and then stuff starts happening, you have no reason, no room to complain. Because at the end of the day, as much as we hate the system in which we are living in, this is the system that we live in. These are the cards that we have been dealt. This is the game that we have to play. And if you're not willing to get in the game and play the game to try to change the game, then you have no room to complain when the game doesn't work in your favor. Somebody was trying to convince me, to vote one way or the other. And I told them, I'm going to vote for my interests. And so whoever is siding with my interests, that's who gets my vote. And so again, I'm not telling y'all who to vote for. I'm not telling you who to endorse. I'm not telling you who to back. And Mad Hatter's not telling y'all to go one way or another. All we're saying is exercise your right to vote. Mail it in, dog it. If you don't want to go to the polls, mail it in, whatever you got to do. But at the end of the day, if you are not going to participate in the system of the country in which you live in, then when the system does things that you don't like, you have no room to complain because you help put these people in place by not doing anything. So that's all we got for this week. I thank you guys for spending a little time with us. We got a good bit of progress done on this puzzle right here. And I'm grateful as always to your continued viewership, support of the Mad Hatter and everything that we're doing here. As I said in my last live with y'all, got a lot of great things planned for 2021 that are coming up, and I'm really excited about those things. And so definitely grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve you guys in that capacity. Thank y'all so much once again for participating in the leaderboard challenge. Puzzles by Liza won that challenge and crushed it. Her, Rachel Cato, and Pieces by the Picture, Pieces of the Picture, y'all crushed that leaderboard challenge like it was nobody's business. I mean, the math that needed to be done to get this junk done was like unreal. So again, hats off to y'all for doing such a great job. The leaderboard will return bigger and better than ever. If you have not registered for the Puzzle Battle Championship third leg, please go do that now. The registration will close on the 6th at midnight. On the 6th at 11:59. So make sure that you guys go do that. And again, thank y'all so much for paying attention to a little guy who likes to puzzle and be a nerd, and got this great woman next to me who likes to tell me when I'm wrong. So grateful to y'all, and again, y'all just keep puzzling, do what you do, stay safe, wear your stinking mask, wear the mask
if you want to,
if you feel like it, again, but dude, wear your mask, man. Just wear it.
If you get sick, though.
That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. If you wear your mask, you get sick. That's one thing. But if you ain't wearing your mask and you get sick, we ain't got nothing to say to you except for I told you so. So just, man, listen to me. Wear your mask. It's worth it. I promise. It sucks. I don't like wearing mine, but it's gonna save your life. We love y'all. Be well. Be safe. See you on the next episode of Puzzled with the Mad Hatter and the Red Owl. Got it.
Yes, I could.